Are you ready for one more? Here we go. Digital marketing in a digital world, lesson one, lecture six. Here we're going to talk about digital marketing analytics, arguably one of the most important parts. This includes monitoring, measurement, and analytics. We kind of use those words interchangeably, but we want to get down the key terms. Again, the reference for this slide is available within the module for lesson one for works cited. Several key performance indicators, KPIs, measure return and output relevant to digital marketing. Some popular KPI measures include the following. ROI, I've mentioned it multiple times, return on investment. It's the amount made through the sale of a product or service divided by the associated cost of the digital marketing. So you can, it's a pretty simple calculation to make if you're um, working in products that have a fixed cost and maybe those costs change a bit, but you can establish what your net profit should be pretty reasonably. For services, it's a little different because, of course, you're judging time. And if it's your own time, especially, it's sometimes very difficult to decide what is my price point going to be. When I was starting in this field, it wasn't even digital marketing wasn't a thing. So how I determined my ROI was something that I had to consistently look back as I was looking at my own business, let alone the businesses that I was doing consulting for. Microsoft was very clear on the ROI that they expected from me, but I had to make sure that I was looking out for myself and getting a fair return on the time that I was spending, particularly as I was gaining subject matter expertise at a time when there weren't that many people with that expertise. And of course, you have to reevaluate that as more people flooded the field. How valuable is your skill set? Are you keeping the skill set up to date? That sort of thing. So that would be true of any product or service. Is it keeping up with the times? Is it staying competitive? And is its price point really compelling? In that word that we keep using, value. Is it really represent value for money to the end consumer? And that's going to help you get that return on investment by increasing the quantity sold or the price point at which you sell. The second analytic that you need to know is cost per acquisition, or CPA, the amount it costs an organization to acquire a new customer or achieve a sale. So these can be things like your Google AdWords spend, your Bing spend, your slash Microsoft, because it can include other Microsoft products, such as LinkedIn, and your website maintenance costs, any payment processing that may be involved, all of those types of pieces, um, you know, that are pre-purchase. So getting them to the site and getting, at what point do you consider them a customer? So when they've, made a purchase, generally would be one benchmark. But in, say, healthcare marketing, it might be that someone's scheduled a consultation and they may not have a procedure, which is where most practices make money. They don't necessarily make it on the consultation. But that might be the way that you are at least determining the acquisition point. So again, you need to make sure that you've clearly defined these as well, but you want to be clear on what your CPA is. Your cost per lead is the cost to the organization for each new potential customer or contact. So that might be every inquiry made through a chat bot, contact us form, or other form on your website, a DM on your social, a connect through, it can be also things that aren't necessarily monetary value, can be follows on social and other places if you consider those good conversion sources. So again, they would need to be places that are part of your lead funnel and how you've defined where customers are coming from. But analytics are really the heart of measuring digital marketing success, of course. Metrics like ROI, cost per acquisition, and the cost per lead help organizations track performance and optimize strategies. The ability to collect, measure, and analyze data effectively is crucial to driving informed marketing decisions. And again, that iterative process where we continue to try to make things more efficient, um, more efficient and monetarily valuable. You're making more money on what you're doing as a business. So regular collection of data is important, but monitoring, measuring, and analyzing the data to provide information that can lead to insights is absolutely crucial. So this is that iterative piece that I was just talking about. This information can be then used for digital marketing intelligence, which is information used to make digital marketing decisions. And they can be things like trends that are being able to use big data to organize and process, to analyze trends that might be coming that you need to take a look at of that are positive, negative, or neutral. But that big data can come from competitors, comparative places. It can come from your own customers, which is usually where you want to start. But if you're a new business, you've got to find ways to access the big data. And a lot of times, in specific industries, you can buy into databases that give you a lot of contextual information. You can buy informational reports. Certainly, when I was at Fiverr, we did that. But we were, being funded by VCs who had, access or made access available to a lot of things. You don't always have that in small businesses. So you want to be looking at getting information from sources in a really clever way. So if you might be a small business in an industry that has very large players, are they a company that's publicly listed, and does their Q1 earnings report give you insight into some trends and analysis that they're telling their investors about as a public company that might help inform your decisions? That might be a place to start if you're a brand new business operating in a large field. Information is, of course, data that's analyzed in a way that makes it helpful for strategic marketing decision making. So things like competitors in a market, crossed with zip codes, crossed with other things. So usually it's information on top of information on top of information that provides a better picture of your customer base, or maybe your supply chain. It can be lots of different things that are related to the business, but your digital marketing intelligence are things that you're able to find essentially through online sources or online tracking that give you those important metrics. So remember these analytic pieces and go deeper in your textbook should you wish to. Again, the sourcing for this you can also look at as in the works cited portion of this lesson 1 module. In summary of lecture 1-6, we looked at the role of analytics in digital marketing, which is about understanding customer behavior and trends, measuring the effectiveness of marketing strategies, really being able to capture data and use it. Key analytics metrics, those KPIs, conversions, engagement, and ROI. Then using metrics to refine and optimize those marketing campaigns, that iterative process. We talked about the use of using digital tools to gather insights, some that you could use like Google Analytics and social media analytics, of course, are very common. I talked earlier about Google Trends. That could be something that you look at as well to provide comparative data. Real-time data helps you make informed decisions, and more of that is available out there. The only problem maybe is the cost to acquire that. Customer insights are incredibly important once you have customers to analyze consumer data to improve targeting and personalization, as well as to predict future behaviors to stay ahead of the competition.